The Lunar dynasty continued. Skanda 9, chapter 17. Ayush was the eldest son of Pururava. The line is now given and shown on the screen. Raji defeated the Asuras and made over Swarga to Indra. Indra placed Raji in charge of Swarga. Raji died, and his sons did not return the kingdom of Swarga to Indra. Brihaspati made invocation against them, and they were all easily killed. Skanda 9, chapters 18 to 19. Sharmista was the daughter of the Danava king Vrishaparvan. Devyani was the daughter of Shukra, the preceptor of the Danavas. They quarreled whilst playing with each other, and Sharmista threw Devyani into a well. King Yayati happened to pass by the way, and he rescued her. She became attached to the king and married him. Shukra became displeased with the Danavas for the ill treatment of his daughter by Sharmista. And to please the preceptor and his daughter, Vrishaparvan had to make over his daughter and her companions to Devyani as her constant attendants. So they accompanied Devyani to the place of Yayati. Shukra warned Yayati, however, not to have any intercourse with Sharmista. But the king did not heed the warning. He had two sons, Yadu and Turvasu, by Devyani, and three sons, Druhya, Anu, and Puru, by Sharmista. Devyani complained to Shukra, and by the curse of the Rishi, the king was attacked with the infirmities of old age. The Rishi was subsequently pleased to say that the king might exchange his infirmities with another. Yayati called his sons one by one, and they all declined to comply with his request, except the youngest son Puru. So he exchanged his infirmities with Puru and lived as a young man. At last he found that no amount of gratification of the senses produced satiety, and being disgusted with the pleasures of life, made over to Puru his youth and took upon himself his own infirmities. He made over the southeast to Druhya, the east to Yadu, the west to Turvasu, and the north to Anu. He then made Puru his successor and went into the forest. Skanda 9, chapter 20. Bharata had 3 wives, all of Vidarbha. One of them bore a son to the king, but he pronounced the child to be unlike himself. The wives of the king killed their children for fear of being called illegitimate. Bharata gave yajna offerings to the Maruts and to Soma that he might be blessed with a son. The Maruts gave him Bharadwaja as his son. Brihaspati produced Bharadwaja on Mamata, the wife of his brother Utatya. The parents deserted the child, and he was brought up by the Maruts. Bharadwaja, being adopted by Bharata, was called Vitatha. Rantideva gave to others whatever he had and had nothing left for himself. He and his dependents remained without food for 48 days. On the morning of the 49th day, he got some ghee, milk, prepared barley, and water. While he was going to partake of that with the others, a Brahmana became his guest. He duly respected his guest and gladly gave him a share of the meals. When the Brahmana went away, he divided the remnant amongst his dependents and himself. And while he was going to eat, one Shudra became his guest. He gave him a share out of his own. When the Sudra went away, another man came with a number of dogs, and Rantideva duly respected him and gave him what he could. Only some water now remained, sufficient for the drink of one man only. He was going to drink that water when a man of the Pukvasa caste, a degraded mixed caste, asked for some water. I do not ask for the 8 siddhis, exclaimed Rantideva. I do not ask for nirvana. I only want that I may pervade all beings and suffer for them all their miseries, that they may be sorrowless. By parting with this water to save the life of this distressed man, my hunger, thirst, languor, giddiness, and distress are all gone. Kind-hearted Rantideva gave even the water to the thirsty Pukvasa. Even Brahma and others could not distract him from his devotion to Vishnu. His followers all became yogis devoted to Vishnu. Is there some connection between Rantideva and Jesus Christ? Shantana had in his former life the power by pass of his hands to make an old man young. He was therefore called Shantanu in his life. When he became king, there was drought for 12 years. The Brahmanas ascribed this to Shantanu's overlooking the claims of his eldest brother Devapi. Shantanu went to his brother, but in the meantime his minister had sent certain Brahmanas to Devapi and they dissuaded him from Vedic Dharma. He thus became unfit to be a king and the Devas then reigned. But Devapi is waiting at Kalapa for his future mission. The Lunar dynasty will come to an end in the present Kali Yuga and Devapi will be the progenitor of Lunar dynasty in the next Satya Yuga. Satyavati was the daughter of Uparichara Vasu by Matsyagandha. Before her marriage with Shantanu, Rishi Parasara had by her one son, Krishna Dvaipayana, the renowned Vyasa, father of Shuka, the propounder of the Bhagavata Purana. As Vichitravirya had no son, Satyavati asked Vyasa to produce sons on his wives. They were Dhritarashtra, Pandu and Vidura. Yudhishthira had by Draupadi, Prativindya, by Pauravi, Devaka, by Draupadi, Bhima had Shrutasena, by Hidimba, Bhima had Ghatotkacha, and by Kali, Bhima had Sarvagata. Arjuna had by Draupadi Shrutakirti, by Ulupi Iravat, by the princess of Manipur Vabhruvahana, by Shubhadra Abhimanyu, and Abhimanyu by Uttara gave rise to Parikshit. Nakula had by Draupadi Shatanika, by Karenumati Naramitra. Sahadeva had by Draupadi Shrutakarman, by Vijaya Suhotra. Kshemaka shall be the last of this approved line in the Kali Yuga. Now as to the Magadha kings. Dhrigatama's rishi produced on Bali's wife 6 sons, Anga, Banga, Kalinga, Shambhu, Pundra and Odra. These 6 sons founded kingdoms in their own names in the east. Anga is a country about Bhagalpur, Banga is modern Bengal, Kalinga is the country between Jagannatha and the Krishna, Odra is part of modern Orissa. Chitradha was also called Romapada. He had no son. Dasharatha, father of Rama, was his friend. He gave his daughter Shanta to Romapada. Shanta was married to Rishi Rishyasringa. That Rishi made a yagna for Romapada and he had a son, Chaturanga, born to him. 100 sons inhabiting the north as a Mlecha race. With the birth of Sri Krishna, we come to the end of the 9th Skanda of Bhagavata Purana, but for the completion of the racial account, we give here only the first chapter of the 12th Skanda. Skanda 12, chapter 1. We have seen Ripunjaya to be the last of the Magadha kings. He will be also called Puranjaya. The future tense, it must be remembered, is used solely with reference to the time of Parikshit. His minister Sunaka shall kill him and place his own son Pradyota on the throne. These 10 shall reign for 360 years. Mahanandi shall have a son Nanda by a Sudra woman. He shall be the next king. One Brahmana Chanakya shall kill Nanda and his 8 sons and shall place Chandragupta on the throne. These 10 kings called Mauryas shall reign for 137 years. Pushpamitra, commander of Brihadrada's forces, shall kill his master and be king himself. He shall be the founder of the Shunga dynasty. These 10 kings of Shunga dynasty shall reign for 112 years. Vasudeva, the minister of Devabhuti, shall kill his master and become himself the king. These 4 kings shall be called Kanvas, Vasudeva, Bhumitra, Narayana and Shusharman. They shall reign for 345 years. Shusharman shall be killed by his servant Balin. a Sudra of the Andhra clan, who shall himself usurp the throne. Balin shall be succeeded by his brother. These 30 kings of Andhra dynasty shall rule the earth for 456 years. 7 Abhiras, kings of Avabhriti, 10 Gardabins, and 16 Kankas shall then be the rulers. They shall be followed by 8 Yavanas, 14 Turushkas, and 10 Shurundas. These 65 kings shall reign for 1099 years. 11 Maulas shall then be the kings for 300 years. Bhutananda, Bangiri, Sishunandi, and Yashonandi shall then become kings. Their sons, all known as Bahlikas, shall succeed them. Then Pushpamitra shall be the king, then his son Durmitra. 7 Andhras, 7 Koshalas, Vidurapatis, and Nishadhas shall then become kings at one and the same time over the lands of these names. They shall be the descendants of Balikas. Vishwapurji, otherwise called Puranjaya, shall be the king of Magadhas. He shall make havoc of the caste system. His chief town shall be Padmavati, modern Patna, but his kingdom shall extend from Haridwar to Prayag. Then there shall be Shudra and Mlecha kings.